Girl Scouts, my name is Kathleen and I am the Program Manager in San Luis Obispo for Girl Scouts of California Central Coast. Today we are going to be working on our Ambassador College Knowledge Badge together.
To complete this workshop, you will need the following materials: coloring and decorating materials, access to the internet, another person, this part comes later, a planner or paper calendar, and some paper to write on. The idea of college can be overwhelming. There are an array of different hoops to jump through in order to land an acceptance letter, and that journey can be confusing at times, but it is completely doable. In this workshop, we will break down the process into a few different sections. We will explore the school options, take a look at the admissions process, set you up for success with the workload, and finally, talk to a panel of college students who were once in your shoes and are now out there pursuing their dreams. First, we are going to explore our options. There are many different schools in the country and even more internationally, and each one provides a different experience than the next. In this activity, I would like you to research at least 3 colleges you are interested in attending. On your paper, create a 3-column chart for each school. In the first column, you will write your pros, the second for neutral, interesting facts, and the third for cons. Make sure to include information such as tuition costs, university versus community college, in-state versus out-of-state, majors that they support, etc. Through this process, you will be able to look past your initial impressions and be able to compare schools based on what you want out of your college experience. Now that we have looked at what colleges we might want to attend, let's look at the admissions process. There are several steps to the application, and again, each college requires different things. What you will need is your high school transcripts and to fill out the basic application form that can be found on the school's website. Those are the base requirements, but some schools may still ask you to write an essay, and some also ask for interviews. An interview has the benefit of giving you the chance to ask questions about the university to get a better idea if it is the right fit for you. Now, we are going to practice how the interview would go. Find your other person and have them ask you questions. This is the worksheet we will be using. While you may not have an in-person interview, it is still a good skill to have in your back pocket. Essays also typically ask similar questions, just in written format. Here are some of the questions asked in the 2019-2020 applications. Let's make sure we set you up for success. College is a different ballgame than high school because you are your own advocate. You set your own schedule and no one is going to hold you to that except for yourself. In this activity, we are going to fill in our planner with our schedule for the week. Look online for an example of a course catalog, such as this one, to help you schedule your classes. For now, we are going to schedule ourselves as though we are going to school full-time with a 15 credit hour load. On the course catalog, the school will have listed what time each class meets, as well as how many credit hours it is worth. When scheduling, make sure you leave enough time between your classes to make it from one building to the next. Also, include time for lunch during midday and block out some homework time in the afternoon. Now, let's build some healthy habits. College life can be stressful and we need ways to release and refocus. Take this time to make a list of things that you do now that help you calm down in moments of stress. Now, I would like to introduce you to a few current college students that all have experienced vastly different college career paths than each other. They will be answering questions in order to give you a better understanding of what it is like to be a college student and give advice based on their experiences.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Denhard. I went to Western Kentucky University, where I majored in psychological sciences with a minor in American Sign Language.
Hi, I'm Hannah Axmit. I graduated from the University of Arizona with my undergraduate degree back in 2017, and then got my master's degree from Clemson University in Clemson, South Carolina back in May of 2019, so this past year.
Hello, my name's Madison. I have been to a couple of schools, and so I started off at Cuesta College in San Luis Obispo studying early childhood education. And then I moved on and transferred to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo to study child development and get a bachelor's degree.
Hi, my name is Simone and I go to Cuesta College in San Luis Obispo, California. It is a community college and I am a psychology major and I'm working on my associate's degree.
Hi, my name is Gina Luke Silva and I'm the lead recruitment specialist at Girl Scouts of California Central Coast. So I started at Monterey Peninsula College in Monterey County, and I was there for about 3 years. And then after that, I transferred to California State University, Monterey Bay, and I'm still currently there, and I am graduating this semester.
I chose WKU for a few reasons. First of all, they had a really great scholarship program, and that was important to me. I knew I needed help paying for school, and I got the best scholarship there. Secondly, they had great study away and study abroad options. And lastly, they had a really good honors college program, and that was important to me. I wanted that little extra bit of intellectual challenge.
First off, Cuesta was the community college in this area, and that was the route that I was hoping to go for instead of jumping straight into a university level. Cuesta College has a good pace and has a good price as well, and gave me the option to kind of figure out exactly what part of the field I wanted to work in.
I chose this school because they had a scholarship for local graduates. I was able to get my first year completely paid for and free because of this scholarship, and it was a great choice for me.
So my reason for choosing MPC and CSUMB is because it was close to home. I'm not the type of person that really wants to travel far. I like to be close to family and friends that were staying around, and I did have a good support system when I was at MPC, and since I'm still at CSUMB, I definitely still have that support system.
My favorite thing about my school was the sense of community there and the sense of pride. Everyone who ever went to WKU has WKU with Hilltopper pride. From the students up to the teachers, you can just tell everyone loves the school a whole lot.
At U of A, so Tucson really became my home. The 4 years that I was there as an undergraduate student, I really didn't want to stay in state. Tucson just had so many options, whether that be eating any and all kinds of foods, to hiking, to the local community and the ability to get involved.
My favorite thing about both Cuesta and Cal Poly were how supportive the teachers were, and every single professor that I've met is like, come to my office, let's talk about it, let's learn together.
My favorite thing about Cuesta College is the diverse amount of people who go to it. I've seen people my age, I've seen people my mom's age, grandmas, grandpas, people from all different ages, backgrounds, locations go to this school, and it really puts in perspective that everyone's on their own path with college.
My absolute favorite thing about MPC and CSUMB is they have such a wide range of degrees you can get. Also, I've had super amazing professors. It will blow your mind how much they will support you to finish school and make sure you're on the right path.
I lived on campus all 4 years. The first 2 years were in a dorm, and that was a great experience for me. It was a really good sense of community. I didn't mind the shared bathrooms. They weren't as awful as everyone said they would be. And it was a really great way to meet people. That's where I made a lot of my friends. You could just leave your door propped open or sit in the hallway and you'll make friends. I loved living on campus. My years in the dorm were my favorite.
So I lived on my first year in one of the newest residence halls, and then went on to be a resident assistant or a resident advisor. Everyone calls them something different. It really is one of the reasons why I was able to come out of my undergraduate career debt-free, was because I didn't have to pay for housing and I was provided a meal plan, and that was really beneficial for me.
I currently live off campus. I have always lived off campus. I have not had a dormitory or any other experience like that. I actually live with my mom. If you can save a little bit of money and get yourself through school and then find a good place and a good job afterwards, that is honestly the best experience you can have.
So my college doesn't have any on-campus housing, so I have lived off-campus since I started going there in late 2017.
I could have lived on campus at both places, but I decided not to because I didn't want to take those opportunities away from the students that really needed it.
I would just try to be more sure of myself. During college, I've kind of figured out who I am, which everyone will. But I wish I had embraced that a little bit more. I wish that I had been less scared to be who I am. And while I did try a lot of new things, I wish I'd been a bit more sure of myself. So that's what I would change.
Sometimes I wish I would have changed my major sooner, but those first 2 years of my college experience, the trials and tribulations and the adversity that I had to overcome being one of a few women in my coursework, I learned a lot about myself and about that experience. And so I'm grateful for the roller coaster that took me through.
I wish I had gone to my professor's office hours more often. I was just ranting and raving about how awesome it was to have supportive professors, but they're only supportive if you let them know you need support.
How much studying would I recommend? It depends on you. It depends on you and your studying style. And it depends on the class. But don't be afraid to try different studying techniques. Just try some different techniques, practice, figure out what works best for you, and don't be afraid to try bizarre tactics like reading stuff out loud to yourself in an empty room. It might work.
However much you think you need to study, more than that. So what you say or what you did in high school is not going to work.
They actually say to study 25 to 35 hours a week, and I definitely say get as close to that as possible. You know, life happens and it doesn't always work out, but doing your best while also taking care of yourself is the number one answer.
So the amount that you study for a class, it definitely depends on the class, how many units it is, how difficult it is, how well you're grasping that information. Overall, the rule of thumb I go by is to study a little bit every day. That way, when test time comes around, you're not cramming the night before and being stressed out.
When it comes to how much I study, I'm going to be very transparent with you. I have dyslexia and language delay. It's been very hard for me in the past to talk about it, but I want people to know it's okay. It's okay if you learn differently, it's totally fine. But I work full-time and I go to school full-time, so it definitely is tricky for me to get all the hours that I need to study, but just make sure you find that time. If that means you have to sacrifice going out and having fun, it's fine. It's your education. It's going to be done soon. I promise you, you'll be fine, but make sure you put those hours into studying.
Ask questions and apply to everything. If you have a chance for it, apply for it. If you have a question about something, ask it. If you want help proofreading, ask for that help. And also apply for FAFSA. It's money that can help you go to college, and that's so important. So just apply, and ask those questions.
So I would say any and all scholarships you can find, apply. Yes, there are extra essays. Yes, there may be interviews, but if you can get a degree and other people can help support you financially, it can make all of the difference.
Fill out the FAFSA. It's free. I got a lot of my tuition paid for because I filled it out. And then also apply for every single scholarship that you think you might qualify for. Go to the financial aid office, talk to them about it, get that support because there's money out there to help you be successful in school.
So for financial aid, something that was never told to me in high school was that it actually takes a lot of hard work on your part to make financial aid happen. Just apply to as many scholarships as you can, do research about scholarships that are available to you, and also be careful about loans. Really do research before taking out loans to see how that will affect you in your adult life. Definitely apply for FAFSA, talk to your parents, and do research about scholarships.
I cannot stress enough how much you all need to seek financial aid. It needs to be your slogan. Seek it, seek it, seek it, seek it. Always make sure you check your university's website for when scholarship opportunities are. You do have to work for it, girls, just letting you know. You will have to write either an essay or get a letter of recommendation depending on the scholarship. You do want to look for Pell Grants or any grants or certain scholarships that you don't have to pay back. But the nice thing when it comes to financial aid, and if you have to take a loan out, is that you have a 6-month grace period after you graduate. So after you graduate, you have 6 months before you have to start paying. Every school has a financial aid office. So start bothering them, find them out, because financial aid is huge.
I guess the closest thing I have to this is that people told me, don't go to college and change your mindset. Don't go to college and change. But at college, I did change in the best possible way. At college, you're going to change. Your views on things will be changed. The classes there are meant to make you think about how you see the world. Go there, be ready to change, be ready to explore the world, be ready to become the best version of yourself.
There's quite a few myths about college that people think like professors are scary and that you can't talk to them and they don't want you to do well and they fail everyone on their exams. Professors want you to succeed.
They always told me if you miss one day of class that you're gonna fail because the quarter system goes so fast. And then I got some counter advice actually from someone high up in Cal Poly, and they said, you know, if you need a mental health day or if there's an opportunity that you can't miss and you mean missing a day of class, like you are not gonna fail.
The main piece of advice that I wish I received about college when I was in high school is that it is okay to not finish in 4 years. When I was in high school, I thought there was no way I wouldn't finish college in 4 years since high school was easy for me and I had straight A's. But once I got to college, I realized that wasn't going to be the case. So I have taken a semester off. I have moved to part-time so I can work full-time. Life happens, things change, and it's okay. So just be easy on yourself. Don't put that pressure on yourself to finish in 4 years. If you do, that's awesome. But if you finish even in 8 years, that's awesome too.
When I was deciding what degree I wanted, I was told that I should go into school and study a degree that would make me financially stable. A lot of those degrees are like medicine, being a lawyer, a doctor. Those aren't really my strong suits. And I knew I wanted to find something that I was passionate about. It's up to you, of course, what kind of job or career path or degree you want to get. But just remember, trust your gut and go with a degree that you want.
To go there with an open mind. If you want to take a random class on painting, do it. If you want to study abroad, make it happen. Just go into college thinking, this is my time and I can do it. Make sure you focus on your studies, of course, but also focus on having a great time because college was one of the best times and I miss it a lot. So I hope you guys have a great college experience.
Ask for help. It doesn't get easier, but asking for help is so incredibly powerful. You have people who want you to succeed. You have people who are invested in your well-being. And part of that comes with empathetically connecting to other people and leaning into that vulnerability and being authentic. And that can be hard if you don't ask for help when you're struggling. And so it's one thing for another person to pick up on it and be able to ask you, but being able to advocate for yourself and reach out and get that help when you need it can be incredibly powerful.
Your mental sanity is more important than a grade or like a perfect grade or perfect attendance. Like, take care of yourself is the best advice I can give because, college is hard. It's supposed to be, it's higher learning, but it's not too hard for you to do. You can get through it.
So the last two pieces of advice that I have for you is number one, use ratemyprofessor.com before you pick your classes. Basically, it's a site that shows each professor of all colleges and it lets people comment on their experience about the class, and it really helps you get a better perspective on who that professor is before you pick the class to see if it's a good fit, and it really raised my quality of education. Number two is that freshman year honestly can be really hard and no one really talks about it. The transition between high school and college is tough. There is a lot more accountability for yourself. Also, it can be really lonely in college. There's a lot more people there that you don't know. You're not going to see your best friends in between classes anymore. So I was pretty lonely my first year of college and didn't really talk to anyone about it, and I wish I had, because later I found out that all my friends were going through the same thing. So be honest with yourself, be honest with your friends, be honest with your parents, reach out for help if you need to. Know that everyone's struggling their first year and that you're not alone.
One of the major things I want you to take away from this is really look at your options. Make the decision for yourself. Do not get discouraged if you love a school that's out of state and you're like, it's a lot of money. Look at your options before you think like, maybe that's not gonna work. Reach for the stars and above. Continue to look for those schools. If you have to go to a community college before, go for it. That's fine. Don't feel like you have to do what everyone else around you is doing. You're your own person. Do what's right for you. It is okay if you go to school and not know exactly what you want to get your degree in. There's a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of general education classes you have to take. So finish your general ed classes first and then decide what you want to do. Girl Scouts is here to support you. We are your biggest cheerleaders. We are here pumping you up to go to school. And I hope what you heard from these little videos about school help you. And if you have further questions, let me know. But good luck.
Congratulations, you have completed your college knowledge badge. I hope this has helped you gain a better understanding of how the college system works, and you can continue with a greater sense of confidence.
Thank you so much for following along during this program. We are so excited to see your completed program photos. Please send your photos to media@girlscoutsccc.org for a chance to be featured in our social media pages. To see all of our at-home programming, visit girlscoutsccc.org.